Everybody, Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. It is Friday. We made it all the way to the end of the week. Why is it always that the short weeks seem longer? I don't know why. This is a mystery to me. This has been a mystery since I was in I was in elementary school. I've never understood this. You get these you get these short weeks and they seem longer. I don't know. It's so strange, but I'm glad for it. The market seems to be moving very nicely, which is kind of great, actually. Just kind of wanted to show you the Nasdaq Composite. We were starting to, we made a nice little bounce today, and so that's looking good. That's looking good. We're above that infamous 50-day moving average, so that's good. Really, I still think we need to be above 1400, but listen, if it's moving up like this, I'll take it. Hopefully, hopefully by Monday we may see, and I don't know, you have to be in on the action trade alerts to find this out, but I think we may have a signal that we're going to a market in a confirmed uptrend. We've been up until now, the last few weeks or so, last week or so, well, more than a week. We've been in an uptrend under pressure, and in uptrend under pressure, you want to get ready, you want to have cash, but now it seems like it's time to start coming back into the market. It's just a lot of things have popped, and it's looking pretty decent out there. So that is a good thing, as Martha Stewart would say. So the Nasdaq Composite looks good. I want to look at the QQQ. This has been a troubled ETF. This is the ETF that covers the Nasdaq 100, the 100 largest stocks. This is really the FANG stocks. It's up too, which is very good. It's been, as you can see. Oh, well, we lost. There we go. It 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 it's pulled back, and now it looks like it may have bounced off the 50-day line. The reason I watch this one so carefully is because this contains many of the growth stocks that I really like. Now, in this sort of uptrend under pressure, what has been doing the best has been the S&P 500 and not the Nasdaq. And I'm going to switch it over to the S&P 500 chart. We're still looking pretty good on the S&P. The Dow, let's look at the Dow to see kind of how it's going. Now, of course, there's only 30 stocks in the Dow. That seems to have recovered too. So hopefully, when all these things get into sync, then I think we're going to have the kind of the kind of the kind of uptrend we want to see. Now, I have a kind of an interesting little deal today. I'm going to show you a bull put spread that I just put on a company called TTD, the trade desk. It's going to be splitting 10 for 1, and I like playing these splits because they typically will not split a stock that doesn't have pretty good earnings. They usually wait until after earnings. That's what happened with Nvidia. So I want to show you the stock. It's not the greatest chart. It's not as good a chart as the Nvidia chart by any stretch, but it is making a move upward, and it looks like it has moved above the 21-day line. Now the reason this 21-day exponential line is so important is because this is the line where the institutions, this is kind of the line that they trade off of. So it is up today about 1.5%. This is a very short trade, but it might end up being a good trade here. So I'm going to kind of go through the trade that I put out for everybody in our Discord room, and also in our Discord room, kind of give you an idea of what it is. This is a bull put spread again on the trade desk, which is a company that is sort of in the business of it's sort of like Google in that if you want to place advertisements. Really, Google and Facebook were two of the only places to go, but the trade desk allows you to place ads on everything else. So it's a key, important company when it comes to online advertising, which is very fast growing. So this is basically a stock split options play, and this, of course, we went out to all of our members, but this kind of want to show you what I expect on this one. This will put about $620 in your pocket right away. That's what I did this morning. It's basically by buying 4 of these June 11th 560 puts, and then immediately selling the June the June 565 puts. So that gives you, if you offset those each on each other, you're going to get about $620. Now here's what we expect. When you enter this trade, you'll be getting a net credit of about $620. This is what I did right before I came on the air here. Basically, you do have the maximum risk of about $1,300 if it moves down to 559 at the expiry. But you also, but potentially you have a maximum return of about 620. There's about a 68.3% chance of profit on this one, so it's very good. This does have a little bit of an edge, and it does have a break even of 563, which going into the split hopefully won't be a problem. Just going to show you the expected value chart here, and this kind of gives you an idea. If it rises into the split, that's where we want to be. Currently, we're at about 582, as you can see. It's kind of smooth sailing all the way across. As long as it stays stable, or even if it goes a little bit down or it comes up, it should make a profit. Now, here's the thing. It's a very short trade based on the June 11th expiry. So it's really very short trade. There's no earnings there's no earnings reports in this. It's just going to be up until basically the date of record. The date of record for this the 10-to-1 split is going to be the 7th of June. So it's just really basically on Tuesday. Well, see, okay, no, I'm sorry. It's going to be, this is Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's going to be Wednesday of next week. That's going to be the date of record when the trade desk splits 10-for-1. Now, typically, when you have a stock like this that does split, it typically will move up to the date of the to the date of the split. That's typically, and then after that, it usually retreats. So the plan on this one is to hold it basically, really into maybe the 7th or the 8th, see how it's trading, and then possibly close it early, or maybe hold it all the way into for the full 620. Now, of course, if it falls below 564, then we'll probably close the trade. So we'll just going to see how it trades and keep track of it into its split. So it does, at least in the short term, this is a daily chart, it does sort of have some upward momentum. So hopefully I'm right on this one. It did have the death cross, as you can see. It had the death cross and it went down. So hopefully it's recovering here a little bit. This is not as good a trade as the Nvidia trade that I've showed you yesterday, but it still may do well. So just kind of wanted to bring that one to your attention. Of course, that's available for all the people that are signed up for the free action trade alerts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send a link to this deck out probably tonight for everybody that's on the trade alerts. And just to get on that, super easy, www.sinfox.com/Dallas Trading Floor. So that'll give you kind of that play. So it's a good way to go. Let's take a look at some of the questions. Right. So we have a question on Upstart. All right, Upstart. Let's look at Upstart real quick. UPST. Search. Okay. Well, got to restart my camera there. Okay, and let's bring up the file. So with Upstart, we did have this reversal, it looks like, and we have moved above the short-term high of 165. No, we haven't. We pulled back. So okay, so it appears that there's some resistance right at this level here. It pulled up and then it's pulled back. See, there's definitely resistance at this higher high, 168.66. So it's just this is a tough thing when it pulls past past a resistance point. There's basically resistance right at this higher high here, and then there is some support right about here at 80. So that's kind of the range that it's going. So it looks fairly powerful. I mean, it's got a relative strength of 99. The relative strength line is looking stronger. It's looking pretty strong. but there definitely is a ceiling here at about 165. So I'm not surprised that it's pulling back because it didn't have enough power to get through that. As you can see on the volume spikes here, there was a lot of selling as it came up to this resistance. So right now, Upstart has resistance right about 165.66, and that's kind of where it's seeing some of that resistance. Interesting company. And I definitely think that, I might be a buyer on this one if it can hold, if it can close above that 165.66. Then I think I might be looking at it. But right now, it just doesn't have enough power to come through that. It doesn't seem to have enough power to come through that. So let's click at QFIN. This is another one that is very interesting, and it's basically a Chinese company. I've been kind of light on a lot of the Chinese companies, but this one did pull through its resistance. The resistance, of course, here was 35.15, and it looks as if it's looking very nice. It's up. Wow, look at that! Look at that volume, 209%. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out why this is the case. If there were earnings that were really good, it looks like they had some pretty good earnings that ended March. So that the sales were up 22%, but profits were up 458%. Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. We did have some, so this was a really good earnings. I just wonder why, but this is a typical pattern when you have these consolidations like this. This isn't quite this is this isn't quite a this isn't quite a double a double bottom, but it's similar. Oops, I kind of lost. There we go. It's similar to, oops, the double bottom. Okay. Oh goodness gracious. Oh goodness. It doesn't like it. So yeah, I mean this is definitely viable, but it's not viable for that much longer because it looks like it's at the very top of its at the very very top of its range. So the buy point on this is 35.16. It's above that. It's 5% away from that. The further away from it gets, that the more extended it gets. It's very difficult. One of the biggest problems is when you're buying stock, you don't want to buy it too extended. So right now you could buy this, but if it moves a little bit higher than this, you probably can't. So very interesting. QFIN is interesting. I would probably pass on both of these just because I think that there's better merchandise right now. There's a lot of really good stuff out there that is available. So there you go. I have a question on Virgin Galactic. That's SPCE, and of course everybody knows that I was in that one. I basically what I did is I got in and out of this one 3 times. It's amazing. Made profit on each time, just basically putting in my stop loss. It's up today, 31.20, 31.12. Here's the thing with this: it seems as if it's buyable above about 30.50. But if you do buy it at that point, you definitely want to throw that stop loss in as fast as you possibly can, because it is pretty volatile. I mean, it's interesting. The daily chart is actually looking better than the weekly chart, which is interesting. It's trading above the 200-day line. I'm liking that. What I'm really liking, and I don't know if you can see this. Oh, wait a minute. I know you can't see that because I didn't put up the chart. There we go. There's the chart. What I really like about this is it's trading above the 10-day moving average, and the 10-day moving average has moved above the 200 days. So that is a very good thing. Relative strength is 80. Would I buy it at this level? Well, I'm a little bit leery. I want to kind of see. I wouldn't hold it over the weekend. This is kind of a hot potato. You can make money on these stocks, but this is a little bit of a hot potato. I think you want to be a little bit careful on this one. I wouldn't hold it through the weekend, so I don't think I wouldn't move into it now. But let's see how it trades on Monday. If it's above about 30.50, then I think we might be able to see a way in the door. Let's look at the intraday chart. Yeah, so it's basically trading from about 30 here to about 32, with right on 31 today. The reason so anything above about 30.50, if it closes above that and then it opens above that on Monday, then you might consider it. But it does. People really like the stock, and it is an interesting company. And again, I have been trading it recently. I've been in and out of it 3 times, and I've made profit every time. So it's looking pretty good. But right now I wouldn't buy it. I'd wait for it to see how it settles tonight. See if it closes above 30.50. If it does, then maybe we might have something to go on here. Let's take a quick question from TikTok. Thanks everybody for waiting. Option trade for next week, please. Okay. Well, the option trade that I put out there for everyone is on is on. I'm going to be putting that up on. It's not up there currently. I'm going to be putting that option up trade tonight up on up on the beacons, and to do that, you just go to my you just go to my profile, hit the link, and there, and it's going to be a little bit after the show, but I'll have a link to the slide deck, and this is kind of a special deal because we have people that pay for these trades. You'll be able to link directly to it and take a look at it, at least until I take it down. So if you're not on the option trade alerts yet, easy way to do it is go to, here's the thing. If you go right now to my my profile, hit the link and put in your information, first and last name. For everybody that does that, essentially today, I'll definitely link you to this option trade on TTD. So if you want to go ahead and take advantage of that, because it's a pretty cool trade. So so there you go. It's sort of the option trade over the day, as it were. All right. So I have the this is okay. Any predictions on SOS? Well, I couldn't say on that. What about your option? What's your opinion about Workhorse? Let me come back to that. Let me come back to Workhorse because just let me come back to Workhorse on that. I'll definitely cover that. AIV. This is from Samuel. Thank you. AIV. Let's see. This is apartment. This is interesting. This is the one. This is the REIT that you were talking about. You've talked about this one before. I mean, it's good. The only thing about this right now is it's under $10. Under $10 stocks are difficult for me. I don't like them as much. It doesn't look bad. I mean, it's in the REIT area, 86 out of 197. I just think that there's better merchandise out there. One of the ones I kind of want to show you is Continental Resources. It's in the oil and gas group. I know I keep, hammering on about this, but CDEV is the symbol on this one. I think it's getting ready. Yeah, it absolutely is. It's right below the buy zone. This is one you might want to look at. It's only a $6 stock, but yet it's got a lot of going for it. Now, the volume's down a little bit today, but it's right at the cusp of going higher. Relative strength of 99. There's been a lot of acquisition of this. This was called Continental Resources, and it is a big player in the Permian. And right now, with the price of oil, I think this one might be a good play. It's at the oil and gas exploration and production group. It's number 2 out of 197. So very strong group. Just a thought. I mean, but that is where, at least I'm seeing a lot of strength in the market, is in these plays that are in the oil and gas. I mean, oil and gas seems to be doing great right now. So, and that's where I have 4 stocks in the oil and gas area. Hey Jay, let's look at AYRO. All right, AYRO. Okay. And that is electric vehicles for the hospitality. Yeah, I think this is like a Cushman company. I don't know what this does. Interesting. Okay, well, we are getting some relief in the automobile manufacturers, but right now the automobile manufacturers are very under pressure still. 180 out of 197. Now it looks like there's some sign of life on Tesla today. But I want to kind of go to the group. I did buy one in this area, and I think right now our best bet, at least in this area, is probably GM. So let's take a look at GM. I just want to look at GM, and I know this is like, your grandfather's Oldsmobile here, but GM out of the automotive stocks, at least right now, is looking the strongest. Now it's pulled back a little bit. It's trying to push through this ceiling that this buy point at 63.44. But here I think that this one, I think this stock is worth your while. I'm not saying that I have a crystal ball or anything like that, but I do know that next year when EVs are getting started, all the major companies are going to produce them. Uh, GM has some very good offerings in this area, especially they've got the Volt, the Bolt, and the Spark. But anyways, they're all doing pretty well, and the company overall is doing very well. And the thing about GM is that, say what you will, they can produce a lot of cars quickly, and that's been a problem for a lot of the other manufacturers, is that they've had these chip shortages, so that they have not had the production. But General Motors, when it comes out of that, is probably going to have tremendous production. So this is one thing I think you ought to look at. Remember, this company is a very different company than it was in 2013 when they declared bankruptcy. They wiped away a lot of their debts, basically because of the U.S. taxpayer. They paid them. But Fidelity Contrafund is in this one. GM. I mean, it's hard to believe. Fidelity Contrafund typically is only in some of the best tech stocks. So I always look for Fidelity Contrafund to be in there as a to be in there as one of the funds in it. So this is very unusual, to take a position in this, but they do have a position in this. It's got a strong checklist as well. So if you want to be in the automobile space, I know that last year I was totally Tesla. I was everything Tesla. Tesla's great. I think still it is. This year, I think though it's going to change a little bit, and GM might be the way to go. Now, is it going to probably take off from the moon like Tesla? Probably not. Be honest with you, but I think it's solid, and I think it's going to do incredibly much better if you're looking in the automobile manufacturers group. And right now, it's not trending as well as 188 and 197 in terms of the sectors. Now, part of the reason for that has been where how Tesla has been trading, because Tesla is so much part of this group. That's the reason why it is. But let me show you the chart for Tesla just as a comparison. It's kind of like this. Tesla is a great company, but it's been taking a little bit of time off. It's come right back up to the 200-day line. I'm still not convinced though that it's made a reversal. So right now it's up 4%, which is tremendous. At 599, but one day does not make does not make the record. So I want to see it fully reverse. I'm more interested as it moves above the 50-day line, which is at about 660, 650, 660. That's going to be where that 50-day line is. So I don't think that Tesla maybe has totally reversed, but GM, on the other hand, is moving to a higher high and to a new buy point. So that's what you might want to look at there. All right, price target for Nvidia. This is one of my favorite stocks, as you know, because when I'm making money on a stock, it's my favorite stock. And Nvidia is this is a classic play. This is a classic split play. In that, Jason Wong and the guys waited until after earnings to say that they were going to have a stock split. So, I'm sorry, they went before. They said they're going to have a stock split before they had earnings. Earnings were blowout. So, Nvidia, I think this could be an $800 stock. Now, is it going to be an $800 stock on Monday? Probably not. But by June 21st, that's the date of record. I think that we may be, at that level. Don't know, can't say, but we're moving very nicely on Nvidia right now, and so that's looking pretty darn good. Let's look at the 5-minute chart on it to see. I did sell some of my options into strength. I had some 570 a July 17 calls that I sold today at a very nice little profit. And I'm going more to the physical shares now. I'm buying more of the shares rather than just having the options, because I do think that this one will move probably higher. I'm looking at potentially, and let's kind of see. I think we could easily make the 800 range. I'm going to draw a trend line here with my little handy dandy pen. I do think that we could possibly, I'm having a little bit of issues, of course, on having some issues on that. Okay, so I do think, there is a potential slope here if we look at it like that. So 800, getting up to about the 800 level should come probably sometime when the split happens. So I think it could go as high as 800. I really do. I really believe that. So let me show you my artwork here. Beautiful artwork. Um, Currently, we've pulled to the top of the range. We're probably going to get a little pullback, but then I think we could continue up to 800 here very easily by the time of the split. And of course, everybody of record on June 21st will get 4 shares for every 1 share that they have currently. So I do expect that is going to do very well. So that is my price target, about 800, and that's going to hopefully be on or about July 19th. That's the day of record. That's when it's going to start trading as the split shares. Now, of course, when it starts trading as split shares, if it's at 800, each share will be around $200. But I suspect that after the split, Nvidia should be trading anywhere from about 175 to about 200. So that's kind of my take on it. Thoughts on, oh, look at that. So your thoughts on CHPT. Let's see CHPT. CHPT. And that's, oh, ChargePoint. I love ChargePoint. I don't know if you know this, but ChargePoint, I don't know if it was, I don't know I don't know if it was GM that they signed a deal with. I'm not sure. But ChargePoint's looking nice. I mean, after hours it's up. It looks like we may have seen a reversal on this one. I also want to look at Blink Charging because I think Blink is probably the acquisition target. Now, the question is, has it made a reversal? So I'm going to draw a reversal line, another reversal line here, and I'm just going to go right through the tops. Yeah. So I do believe that we are starting to see, I'm going to set an alert on that line. I do think we're starting to see, and I'm going to get rid of this. This is the, yeah. It does look like we've made a reversal above this, so we are making a reversal. I think we've cleared the 200-day line, so this is looking pretty good. This is looking actually actionable here. I do think there's going to be a lot of demand for their charging stations. Let's look at the kind of the sister stock of this, and that's Blink Charging, BLNK. I always like to look at this one. This is a third the size, but it has a little bit better chart. This one is definitely reversed as well. So this one you want to put on your radar list because it's getting some strength, it's getting some love in the after hours. I mean, look at this. The relative strength on Blink Charging, 99. So that's really, really good. Now, it looks as if it pulls above about 40 here, it made an attempt, then I think it's probably going to move higher. That's my guess. I mean, only time can see, but it's definitely reversed. Blink Charging. This is the one I think that is potentially more actionable than ChargePoint, but they're both very, very good. I suspect that, probably we'll see a merger or something like that. So we shall see. All right, NEO broke over 42. Let's look at NEO. Part of the reason I think NEO is trading better today is because of Tesla. Tesla has made a very nice, it's not quite made a reversal yet, but that may be happening soon. The fact that it's staying above the 200-day line is good. It's got a relative strength of 97. Now, is this coming back? Well, I think we might see some more action on it. They've had some very good numbers. Checklist is good. I just would be a little bit cautious about buying this one right now. Instead of buying NEO, I think the better buy, and this is where I've bought, is GM. And I know this is not as an exciting a company, but it has a much better chart pattern than NEO does. So this is one. It's a little bit more expensive stock, but this one is definitely on the way up, and this one's showing a little bit better. A little better action than NEO. One of the things I really like about the General Motors stock is that, as you can see, this relative strength line, we've pulled off a little bit on it, but we're looking like we're going to punch through with that relative strength line. So this is doing very, very well. On comparing that to NEO, With Neo, it is not. Unfortunately, that relative strength line is somewhat declining, as you can see. So this is something that I always look at, is that relative strength line, because you see that was the high of the relative strength there, and that relative strength. I'm focusing on this blue line. This blue line, it's not the price line, but this is the relative strength of the rest of the market, and the trend has been somewhat downward on Neo. So I don't necessarily think it'll be a bad investment, but I think you got to be careful. Set your stop losses very tight, about 3%, because this one may reverse on you based on this chart action. Um, the thing about let's go back to GM here. The thing about GM is that it has been improving. You see, it's up to its higher level. So if it pulls above that on that relative strength line, that's about its high. Then I think it's gonna even move harder. Now it does have a lot of resistance right here at 63.44. So the best way to do this is to buy it as it moves about 10 cents above that. I did that yesterday, but it did pull back a little bit today. I do think, though, we're going to see some more strength in here. The volume is up, and so I do think we're going to see the strength there. So that's kind of in the automotive sector. That's kind of where I would be more comfortable, would be with GM as opposed to Neo. It's just, I think it's a better stock at this point. All right, let's look at some of the. Oh, hey, thank you. Thank you for following me. Appreciate it. Take a look at CCIV. Gosh, I will, but CCIV is one of these SPACs, and Bill Ackerman strikes again. This has been terrible for people. He just steals money from people. Yeah, look at this thing. It's terrible. I mean, I don't think you're going to get your money back on this one. This is why I don't buy SPACs. This chart is why I don't buy SPACs, because basically it was selling for $64.86 back in February. Okay. And that's when Bill Ackerman was saying, "Oh, it's the next best thing. We're gonna build an electric car." Well, guess what? He stole the money, and they're probably not going to build anything. So if I was in this one, I would sell right now, because I just don't see it coming back. Now they just haven't they haven't acquired anything. This is just a bank account sitting out there. So just this is the kind of one, if you're in it, maybe chalk it up to experience, because I don't think this one probably will come back to the level that it was at. Now, if you bought it at $9, that's one thing. But I think a lot of people bought these at you know 40, 50, $60 a share, and they hadn't sell, and basically it probably never will come back, because it's a spec. It hasn't invested in anything. There's nothing. There's no there. It's just kind of a filing, really. That's all it really is. So I'm not denigrating it, but I just think that it's just not the place to be right now. I don't like SPACs at all, because typically they can hurt people. Best time to sell Nvidia. I'll tell you exactly when I think the best time to sell Nvidia is. Let's look at the chart for Nvidia. NVDA. Now, why do I say this? Well, I believe the best day to sell Nvidia is going to be July 18th or 19th. July 18th or 19th. Now, why am I so specific on that? Well, one of the reasons I'm so specific on that is because typically the way a split works is, it trades up to after the announcement, which we've already had. It trades up. Then it trades up to the date of record. The date of record is going to be June 21st, and then it trades up to the date that it's going to split. Now Nvidia is going to split 4-for-1 on for everybody of record of June at June 21st of this month, is going to get 4 shares for every 1 share that they have, and that's going to be on July 18th. So at the close of business, July 18th, the next day, July 19th, it trades as split shares. So that typically is where it's going to trade the highest. What will happen is it'll run up to that, and then when it splits, the next day, people will start selling off shares to rebalance their portfolio. So they might have had 100 shares before. They have 400 shares. They're like, well, we'll sell 200. We don't want to get too overweight in that. So that's what's going to happen, I believe. And so the best day to sell Nvidia is probably going to be on about the July 18th, and I'll try to keep everybody up to date on that. That's essentially what I'm going to do. This is what I did on Tesla and on Apple last year. Worked out great on both. Let's look at Palantir, PLTR. And this one is a little different. This company has some real revenue, and they've gotten some very good contracts. Unfortunately, I was in this one basically on the run up, and then I got pulled out of it. It did make a reversal, so this is the reversal line that I have. So it's moving up. It's moving up very, very nicely. Now, there are some issues related to Palantir, and one of them, of course, is that the Computer Software Enterprise Group is just not trading all that well. 180 out of 197. So this is not where the capital is flowing in the market right now. I'm very careful about that because I want to be kind of, it's sort of like what Bobby Orr used to say. The reason they asked somebody, "Oh, why are you such a good hockey player?" Well, it's because I go to where the puck is going to go. Is going to be. So the puck, I believe, at least in the near term, is going to be in the oil and gas sector. Now, that said, let's kind of take a look really quick at some of, it's why am I saying this? Well, I'm going to show you why I'm saying this. And that is because I'm pulling up, these are all of the groups in all the sectors in the economy. I mean, in the stock market, not in the economy. Well, the economy sort of is the stock market, to be honest. So where are they trading? Well, let's go over here and let's look at the rankings. And the rankings, okay, let's move over there. So let's go to the okay, earnings per share. Okay, composite. That's composite. I want to see the rank. Where is it? Count last price. Oh, that's because I'm looking at the wrong charts. I was wondering, like, why am I not seeing those ranks there? Well, here are the ranks, and we're going to pull that up. Okay, so currently in the rankings of where kind of where's Waldo, this is where the industry. This is the industry group rankings. So from 1 to 197, the number one group is retail consumer. So that's why, if you're interested, there's a very good stock in there called CONN, CONN. It's doing quite well. I'll show you that in just a second. Where I've been concentrating is in this number two group here, because there's 60 companies in there, and that's the U.S. oil and gas group. And right now, there's a company in here called Continental Resources, which looks like it is just about ready to pop. I kind of want to show you that one, and that is in here. So the price of oil has been going up, and this is going to give us some opportunities. These are the top stocks in here. Now, CDEV, Continental Resources, this is the stock I'm talking about that looks like it's getting ready. It's just right at that buy point. The buy point is 625, and if it's got a tight pattern, so it looks like it's just getting ready to go. There's a nice little Easter egg down there, and what that means, of course, is abnormally high buying volume. Okay, these are all blue spikes, as you can see. That means that these are people buying, not selling. So it says to me that everybody seems to be interested in oil and gas, and this is the one that's ready to go. Now, I will probably buy this one if it moves above 625. I already have 4 other oil companies, so I'm kind of heavy on oils, but this is where the money is moving in the market currently. So that's kind of what I wanted to put out there, and that's one of the ways that you can take a look at, doing something. Okay, let's look at the next question. Thank you very much. Can you demo RSI and MACD for one of the coins? Well, not really, because unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of the tools for the coins themselves. But here's what I do to look at to look at Bitcoin. I use a proxy, and the proxy I use is the GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, or GBTC. That's the symbol for it. And the way that one trades, and I'm going to bring that up here, is that because the GBTC has 4% of the world's Bitcoin, it typically is a proxy for that. So we've been essentially in a pullback, but we're starting to see some life as it bounces off the 200-day line. Now, The question is, um, you know, this is an open-ended grantor trust that's based on that tracks Bitcoin at the market price. So that's why I use this as a proxy. Now, um, what does this say for Bitcoin? Well, not sure exactly what it says for. Let's open. Bitcoin had been trading up as of late. It seems to be range bound in from about 30,000 up to about 40. But let's take a look. I don't want to say anything that might not be exactly right. So I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin chart and take a look at it. And that's Bitcoin. Okay, there we go. And let's pull on over to that chart. And this will be kind of, a little bit of a kind of bunch of windows open here. So let's kind of grow this one, and so we can kind of take a look at it. All right. Well, it's off a little bit today. It was at 39 yesterday. It's at 36. Wow, it's pretty volatile. It's pretty volatile. There has been a recovery in the price of gold as well. So it seems as if the run on Bitcoin, at least for now, is abating. But here's the thing. Um, Elon Musk, of course, has been tweeting that he's not going to be into Bitcoin anymore. I don't know what he's trading. He's a genius, but I don't know if I follow him all the time. But this might put a damper on Bitcoin's price. What I do think is starting to happen is you're starting to see some of the people take their profits in Bitcoin and move it over to gold. And so I'm going to look at the gold price because we still have the issues with inflation, which is coming. And a lot of people here haven't experienced inflation, but as you can see, the gold price is up today. It pulled back yesterday, kind of bounced, and I think it's back on its way up. If gold moves above about 2,000 right here, then we're going to see a lot of inflation because this is a inflation hedge, and unfortunately, Bitcoin isn't really. So I do think that we're seeing a lot of people take their profits in Bitcoin and move them over to gold. So that's kind of my point. So I hope that makes some sense on that. Okay, we don't see the chart. Okay, did I not show that? I guess I didn't. Hopefully you can see that. Well, hopefully you can see the chart here. You should be able to see the chart. Yeah, this is the gold price chart. All right, CCIV. Let's look at ABML. Okay, let's look at ABML. I will pull up the chart on that one. Okay. ABML. Okay, well, did I get that right? ABML. Maybe it's ATML. At HBML? BML, is that right? ABML. Well, that's not working for me. That's not working for me. So I guess I have to come back to that one. Sorry about that, Aziz. Sorry about that. All right, let's look on American Airlines, and we're going to get to the airlines. And of course, these are reopen trades. Now, for full disclosure, I didn't actually short, I used a bear put spread on Delta Airlines, and this was for earnings. This is the beginning of the earnings season. And of course, it pulled back, and I did pretty well on it. I got lucky, I think, on that one. I still think that this sector is still going to be under a lot of pressure for a while because I just think even if we have a reopening, it's still going to be difficult. A lot of businesses are using Zoom and other things, and so really the thing that's going to come back, of course, is the retail tourist trade, but unfortunately that's very price sensitive, so there's not a lot of profit in it. The business class is where the money is. I'm not so sure that's going to come back as quickly. But Ricky, I do believe this sector is okay. Relative strength is 55. Let's look at American. American, of course, is not as in good shape. They're based in Fort Worth here, but they're not as in good shape. And as you can see, they've pulled back. There is a buy point on American at about 2609, but it just keeps getting rejected. So I don't know about this sector. I think I want to take a little bit wait see. I want to see a little bit more strength in this sector. The sector is currently 165 out of 197. So the sector in general is not as strong as I would like to see it. Um, let's see if I can, let's see if it'll let me. Yeah, no, unfortunately not. So I just think you got to be really careful with this sector. I don't think it's a very strong sector, and I think there's just other places to be. Um, Other places to be. Question: do you have a Juneteenth play? No, but that's interesting. That's a good. That's a very interesting. That's a very interesting. Um, that's a very interesting comment. You know, for everybody out there, I don't know if you know this, but Juneteenth is a very interesting day in the history of America. As a matter of fact, in the history of Texas, actually, for years in Texas, Juneteenth has been a holiday. And what Juneteenth is it is the day that in Galveston, um, the after the Civil War, I think it was like almost 2 years later. It's unbelievable that a general landed in Galveston and basically said, you know, this, you know, the slaves are free, and so it's been for years. It's been a holiday here in Texas. Of course, it's a very significant day, and I think you know it may end up becoming a national holiday. And I think that's very appropriate actually. But in terms of place for them, I can't really tell you. I can't really tell you on that. But you know, at least here in Texas, it's just been a day that you know it's kind of like you know a nice day to kind of be with the family, and you know, and it commemorates this very historic event. So very interesting, Juneteenth, and it is you know, it's kind of been a regional thing down here in Texas forever, and now it's kind of spreading nationwide, which is kind of a cool thing, I think, anyways. All right, thoughts on Nokia? Let's take a look at Nokia and okay. And there we go. Nokia. Well, this is, you know, again, interesting stock, Ricky, but I think there's other ones out there right now that might be seeing more love. I really believe that. So I'm going to kind of, you know, I don't know how, you know, if it'll go any further. I just, it seems like it's getting. It seems like you know it's trading 1 cent above where it closed. You know, and there is some volume on it, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's a short squeeze or anything like that going on. So I wouldn't really. I'm not as interested in it as I am some of the other ones, to be honest. Um. Oh, okay. Here we go. Aziz, here we go. ABML. Thank you. American Battery Medical Corporation. It shows on TD. Okay. I guess I didn't have the right. I probably didn't have the right. You know, TD is great because it just has just about every symbol, and I don't use. I use Thinkorswim to trade with, but I don't use it for the charts. And you know, that's one thing about that. No, it doesn't. ABML. Yeah. Unfortunately, no, it does not. It does not show up on my charts. TD Ameritrade has an amazing coverage. Has amazing coverage of prices. You know, because you can practically buy anything you can practically buy on any exchange. You can buy on TD Ameritrade. So, yeah, interesting. By the way, if you're interested and you want to shift over to TD Ameritrade from Robinhood or something like that, highly recommend it. And if you do want to do that, I can send you a link if you're interested. Or you can just go do it yourself. They usually give you a few $100s if you switch. So I highly recommend it. It's what I use, and I think it's a great company as well. So okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Ricky, I meant Nicola, not sorry, not Nokia. Okay. Nicola is in NK. N. What is? Oh yeah. What is it? NK. I've got it here. Nicola, yeah, NKLA, NKLA, yeah. I'm sorry, NKLA. There we go. Right, yeah, Nicola. You know, unfortunately, Nicola was sort of the scene of a crime. I hate to say that, but the people at Nicola, they fired the CEO. But basically, it was a paper company. They couldn't produce anything, but they got somehow, and I don't know how they did it. They got a deal with GM. Well, it just hasn't done anything since. I mean, you know, hydrogen. I don't know why this is, but you know, when I was younger, I was an avid reader of Popular Mechanics, and this shows you kind of where my head's at. And they were always talking about this hydrogen vehicle that was coming. I don't think so. I think the build, I think the Tesla has proven that the vehicles are going to be electric. I think that yes, it's true they have electric drivetrains and all that stuff, but I just wouldn't invest in this one. It's just proven. It's kind of like CCIV. It's sort of not a real company. So I wouldn't be in it if I had any of these stock, I would sell it immediately because I don't think you're going to get back your money any other way. I just it doesn't. This is the chart. This is the chart. It's just not. It's just ugly. That's all I can say. It's ugly. So sorry about that. Being so negative on it. All right. What's the difference between MarketSmith and Leaderboard? If you have both, yeah, I have. Well, actually, just a FYI for you, MarketSmith actually contains all the stocks on Leaderboard. Leaderboard is sort of a curated, special kind of product that Investor Business Daily puts out. It's very good. It basically shows what stocks are leading, but it's a junior product to MarketSmith, but it has some great information, and it basically kind of curates a handpicked list of stocks that are leading. I used to have it. It's great, but I just do everything with MarketSmith now. So if you're looking between the two, I think you ought to look at MarketSmith because even though it's the more expensive one, it's going to give you all the Leaderboard stocks on it. So that's my opinion. The graphics are a little bit less detailed on Leaderboard than they are in MarketSmith. So that's why I like MarketSmith so much. Oh, wait a minute. Oh goodness, I am. my camera cut out again. So let's take a look at some of the questions from TikTok. Thank you very much for holding here. Okay. No charts available. Oh, by the way, everybody, I know that there are no charts available on TikTok. That's because technically I can't show them on TikTok. But if you want to see the charts, just go to youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor, and that's where you can see all the charts because YouTube allows me to broadcast the charts and TikTok doesn't, unfortunately. So that's kind of been kind of been the bugaboo. If you want to get right over to the charts, easy to do. Just go to my profile, hit the link, scroll to the bottom, and you will see the live broadcast on YouTube. But YouTube allows you to broadcast the charts, and unfortunately, I have not been able to do that yet with TikTok. So I like TikTok a lot, but that's not. I can't do that. TikTok. Okay. Thanks, Hussein. Can you do AHT? Let's look at AHT real quick. AHT. And that is Ashford. Oh, interesting. This is also a Dallas company. I know this company. This has been a hard hit group, the REIT group, but it's definitely doing better. Relative strength is 90. So this is a good area. I don't believe I see if they've just come through earnings. I have to check to see. It looks as if they have a 90 relative strength. It does look like there's a little resistance at about 582. So this is a reopening kind of stock. I think that I wouldn't buy this one, but I would watch this one because I think this could be very good in the future. I think right now, they're still getting their occupancies up. The holiday travel is going to be really good this year, but again, Ashford Suites depends on that business traveler. So the question is the business traveler going to come back? If they do, then I think it's going to be great. But right now, I think you just got to watch this. It's a good company, very, very good company. But I think you got to be, you're really careful with this. Now, basically what these guys do, they don't actually run the hotels. They provide the loan financing, the mortgage financing for the hospitality industry. And there's a very big need for this. It's, first liens, mezzanine financing, all the kind of stuff they do. So, as long as, if rates go up a little bit, these guys ought to do well. But I just think that there's better places to be rather than this area. Now, here's one that I like in this particular area, and I keep touting it, but it's called ELS, Equity Lifestyle. And what this is this is a company that owns that owns parks, trailer parks. I call them trailer parks. That's wrong. But this one has just done tremendous. This is the only REIT now owned by Sam Zell. And of course, Sam Zell famously sold out at the top of the market. His offices, his commercial. He's just done really. But this is the one he still has, and it's called Equity Lifestyles, and it just seems to just continue to do well. It's currently outside of the buy zone, unfortunately. It just pulled about above the buy zone about 3 days ago. But if you want to be in this area, this REIT finance area, this is one you want to possibly consider. Equity Lifestyle. I'm a little bit concerned with the low rating on the relative strength at 53. But here's the thing I like about this chart. You have the 200-day line, and the 50-day, that's the red line, is crossed above it. You have this ascending RS line. Oops. Okay. I'm having bandwidth issues. That's why it's cutting on that. But you notice this blue line here, and it's kind of, yeah. You notice how it's going upwards. This is very, very bullish. Very bullish. So right now, this company is improving against the S&P 500. It's also improving relative to other stocks. So this one is one you might want to look at. Equity Lifestyle, if you're into this group. ELS. Not a lot of people trade it, but it's a great stock and very, very strong. All right. I know so much about. Well, I a lot of crib notes, a lot of crib notes, and I try to prepare. I usually prepare about an hour or two before open a trade every day, but it's just kind of fun. I mean, I've always liked the stock market and making money. So it's totally fun for me. Thank you. That's a very nice comment. I appreciate it very, very much. All right. Okay. Let's look at. I think I have almost done all the questions. Space. AI. Oh, another question from Samuel. Somebody has such good questions. AIV. All right, let's take a look. Oh, this is the apartment. This is another good one too. This is in the same group as Equity Lifestyle. It's just a little less expensive stock. Also a very, very good chart. I just happen to like Equity Lifestyle better because I think that especially with the coming inflation and affordability crisis that we're going to have in real estate, ELS is really positioned really, really well in that space. So kind of a cool place to be. Let's see if I have one more question here. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. You guys are like trading class. Okay, great. Well, thank you very, very much. If you're interested and you want to kind of get more in depth on it, we do offer a Discord room, and we've had some people that have been, just come in there recently that have done very, very well. I mean, we're starting to see a market turn here, and there's some really good opportunities. And in this one, you can message me directly and that kind of thing, and hopefully I'll answer you pretty quickly. Sometimes I'm busy, but I try to get to everybody, and that's really easy. You can sign up for the free extra trade alerts, because that's sedfox.com/Dallas Trading Floor. But if you're interested in taking kind of a look-see at kind of what the Discord room is all about, and by the way, we have some spread trades up there too. Some are for members only, some aren't. Just go to this Discord room location. Just go to this location, www.vinny.com/u. Put that U in there for some reason. Dallas Trading Floor, and you'll go right to that, and you'll kind of see kind of what we've got to offer. And that, that's if you want to kind of take your trading to the next level. But thanks for tuning in every day. I'd really, really appreciate it every way. So until Monday, I hope everyone is going to do well. There's going to be some really good opportunities, I think, coming up next week. I think we're starting to see the market strengthen, and I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for people out there. So keep your powder dry, really, because when it turns to a market, when the market turns from an uptrend under pressure to a market uptrend, we're going to find that it's time to basically get back in and make some money. So until Monday at 2:30. Oops. Hopefully when I get more bandwidth. Happy trading, and have a really nice weekend, everybody. I will see you on Monday.